Hello everyone, I'm Todd Margolis with First Title and Escrow, and today I'm going to give you a brief description of what a title company does and the process and why it's important to choose a good title company and to have great partners that all know how to work together very cohesively. So I have a couple handouts for you. This is the first one that we're going to have right here. And it says on the top, what does a title company do? A title company does a search of all owners and liens against a piece of property, prepares paperwork for purchases and refinances, disperses funds at closings, and records all new ownership documents and liens. So what happens in the process, you're going to find a piece of property, you're going to get pre-qualified, right? So you're going to work with your banker, you're working with your realtor. Then after you write your contract and the contract is accepted, and that's called a ratified contract, then the ratified contract is going to come to my company and I am going to start doing research on the property because I need to find out who the current owners are and any liens that are attached to the property. A lien could be a mortgage, so they have loans against the property. It could be taxes, back taxes. It could be a judgment from a creditor that could have attached to a piece of property. So we're going to search the courthouse. We're going to find out all that information, and then we're going to prepare it into what's called a binder, and we're going to send that binder to the new bank. And the new bank is going to say, okay, we're going to pay off all of these things, clear these things up, and then we're going to add your new loan to it, and we're going to be in charge of recording those documents as well. We also prepare a deed. A deed transfers ownership from the current owners to the new owners, which will be you. Now, there are a couple things. I'm going to jump down a little bit. It says, how is title held? So it's usually held in fee simple. And then what are some ways to hold title? So more than one person can be on title. So you can have joint tenancy, which is two individuals who share equal ownership of property and have the equal undivided right to keep or dispose of the property. And there's a right of survivorship, which means if one person passes away, it passes to the other person. Now, joint tenancy means that you have an equal undivided ownership to the whole. So you don't own 50%, you own 50% to the whole, okay? Now, that's going to make more sense. Tenancy in common, this is more for investors. You can delineate 62%, 38%, 50-50, what have you. And then tenants by the entirety is only for spouses. Spouses can have tenants by the entirety. It also has a right of survivorship. If something happens, it passes to the other person without problem, without incident. Tenants by the entirety also gives you a little bit more coverage from creditors. It gives you a little bit more protection from creditors. That doesn't happen outside of the marriage tenancy, okay? And the idea behind it is they're not going to punish one spouse for something that could have happened. So we're going to do the search, we're going to get that information, we're going to aggregate it, and then we're kind of just going to quarterback behind the scenes with your realtor and with your banker to get all the information together. And you're probably not going to have too much interaction with me or with my company up until the very end. And then we will facilitate the settlement as well, which means we're going to come out at closing and explain all of the documents and the closing disclosure, all the numbers, make sure that your deed is prepared properly, that your names are spelled correctly, because we have to record that. We're going to record your deed. We're going to record the mortgage, the loan from the company. They're going to want that on record as well. So we're going to make sure all of those things are done properly, spelled correctly, so we don't have to go back and re-record anything. We're going to go through all of the documents together. Most of it you already will have seen prior through a disclosure process through the mortgage company and with your realtor. But we're going to go over everything again. So you probably won't see me until the closing, but we're going to be behind the scenes coordinating and working with everyone. What is title insurance? Okay, there are two types of insurance. There's an owner's policy and then there's a lender's policy. Now, a lender's policy is required, and the lender wants to be covered because they're going to require that they be insured to make sure that if any ownership issues come up, that it wasn't transferred properly, that previous loans from a prior owner come up, that they want to be what's called indemnified, made whole, promise that they will have no financial loss based on it. So it's our responsibility to take care of those things. The other kind is for you. It's called an owner's policy, okay? Now, there are two types of owner's policies. There's a basic owner's policy, and then there's an enhanced owner's policy. And they offer different coverages, and they cost different prices. It's usually about 20 to 30% difference. The differences are going to be laid out on this sheet. I mean, I could go through them all, but basically, we look at it like this. If you're buying from, your grandmother who's owned the property forever, and they haven't done additions to the property, and they didn't tear down and put a new house, you're probably okay with a basic policy. If it's a bank-owned property, if it's a foreclosure, if it was a short sale, and there's the person, there are a lot of judgments and collections and different things, and it passed hands many, many times, and they put an addition on the back, you might want to get the enhanced policy because it's going to give you more coverage and cover more things, such as survey coverage, which will cover any changes to the boundary lines and what have you. But if the house has been sitting there forever and they've never done any renovations and didn't put on any additions and didn't tear down any walls, then that survey coverage may not be needed. It's always your choice, and you can pick which one that you want. So title insurance is very important. We've seen a lot of things over the last few years, and a lot of companies have gone out of business. Now, First Title and Escrow, we've been around since '97. We're a national company, and we do things the right way. So we have a SOC 2 audit, which is the highest audit you can do. We have an office inside of in Texas. We have an office in Richmond, Fairfax, Missouri. So we're all over the place. We're headquartered here in Rockville. We'll close the loan anywhere you want, at the realtor's office, anywhere that you need to be. We have mobile closings as well. Our fees are very, very reasonable, and we turn things around very quickly and timely. So we don't want to slow up the process with you. And we're also we have a lot of technology, a lot of cool things that are going to make things much more smooth for you to get to the table more quickly, and it's going to help everybody in the process. So we're looking forward to working with you. If you have any questions, my information's there. You can call me at 301-367-8500 is my cell phone number. Reach the office, 301-279-0303. Call my cell phone because they'll just transfer you to my cell phone anyway. God bless you. We look forward to working with you, and thank you very much.